Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Strength of Thousands AP. Before I am cut off, I'm going to do my announcements. Here are the announcements. Tomorrow night, Cult of the Lamb playthrough starts. Come join our cult.
Non-believer. Shun.
Wednesday night, League of Amazing Adventurers. Our party's dealing with a liminal death trap. Ooh woo.
It's a hell of a trap.
I'm really proud of this. So to give you context, our party is stuck in a infinitely reproducing liminal space with a book minotaur in it.
Very cool.
So they're dealing with that, and oh boy, it's going to be fun. Then on a Thursday, we don't do anything on this channel. We're off. Go watch Critical Role. Ooh woo.
Ooh, especially after last week.
Especially after last week. Also, hey folks, just like a general rule,
you
don't
what?
send death threats to people when a character dies. Like,
On a
don't do that.
fantasy role-playing show.
Don't do that shit. Listen, there might be some character death in League or in Calling Chronicle shortly. So, don't do that.
Take that back. You take that back.
Then on Friday, we have Calling Chronicle. The campaign's ending this week, which is why I'm saying there might be some character death. Because Reskin's a bastard.
You should slouch a little. My head's getting cut off a little.
Oh, here, let me fix it.
That's why I'm glad I have a laptop. Is sometimes I can like.
I can't. So the thing is, with the way our overlays are structured, I can't. In the way like the Zoom stuff works, okay. I can't have everyone like be small and like still fit in the boxes and not show black.
Don't worry.
But
so you're saying is I should just make my box more square-like rather than rectangle?
Yeah, that might help in the future. What was I saying? So Friday, Calling Chronicles ending. Come and watch the series finale of that. Then the week after, I think we're doing Matt's one-shot.
Oh god, that soon? Oh god, oh god.
Then the week after that, we're doing a Genshin Impact one-shot. Which, Zoe, do you play Genshin Impact?
She has avidly avoided it.
No,
That's
but
fair.
I have started playing a mobile game that may be apparently like it.
Is it Honkai Impact the Third?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's just a different gacha game.
It's a different gotcha.
It's yeast, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm going to see, yeah, so we have the Genshin Impact one-shot on Friday in 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, and then the week after that, Spelljammer would start.
Are we gonna have like we could potentially have the big climactic battle this Friday, but wouldn't we need a session to wrap up?
Oh, I was just going to, like, go long, but if we want to do that, we can. We'll play it by ear.
Not for me trying to get more time to create my one-shot.
Then after that, on Saturday, we have Salt and Sorcery, which could be ending this week for our Outward playthrough, as Matt and I have made it to the final quest. And I think we've earned it. We've killed a lot of things very effectively between the two of us.
Some of them were through walls.
You know what? It counts. It's a valid strategy.
It does count. The developers didn't think to block stuff from going through fences, so it's
the fences have holes. Then on Sunday, we're continuing Simulation Sunday with my playthrough of Dreamlight Valley. It's been going really well. I'm in love with the game. It gives me all the serotonin. After our stream yesterday, I was up until like 1:30, doing paths and making it look pretty. I don't have a problem. Who needs sleep when there's lotto boxes to farm? And then every Monday, of course, we have the Strength of Thousands AP here on twitch.tv/tabletop-rolls. Matt runs that. I'm done rambling. Matt, do your thing. Introduce people, and then tell me when to roll intro.
Introduce people. I am people. Hello, everyone. I am Matt, or Urban Off in various places on the internet. I am here to guide these no longer students, I must say, but these soon-to-be lore speakers, or teachers, as you might more commonly know them. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. And speaking of getting ahead of oneself, Will, I'm not sure I was going with that one. Introduce yourself and your character.
Hello, I'm William Banner, head of Tabletop Rolls, the person who made this channel, and the GM for our Wednesday and Friday night games. Hi. Also, hey, Fat Guy 953, good to see you again. Welcome back to the stream. Tonight, I am playing a couple of characters. I'm playing Igura, a former Gripply cultist who has now gained the ability to summon a cool Fey Frog. The Fey Frog, Choco. The Fey Frog, Gamma, who is a awesome Fey Frog. If you've ever seen Naruto, think the ninja frogs, and that's the look I go for mentally. Then, I also play Choco. They're a terror bird. Think a chocobo, but with black feathers and scarier. And Mark's running PFS tonight, so we're safe from jokes. And that's all the characters I'm playing.
Oh, it is Monday, yeah.
It is.
Will, I'm just trying to think though. Your frog being based off the frogs from Naruto, is he wearing like a yukata then, or?
No, he's
I'm
not.
vetoing that immediately.
He's
No, he's Nikki.
he's
He's
based
naked.
off of
He's
Gamakichi. So Gamakichi never had a yukata. Gamakichi just had that
Did he have one of
event.
those like woven like
No.
rope?
Gamakichi was just like naked most of the time. Eventually, like after the Naruto time skip, Gamakichi got like a cigarette and then like a little sword, but otherwise like it stayed like that.
So it fell on hard times.
Yeah.
You ever just wear a cigarette?
Listen, I have an
clothes?
encyclopedic knowledge of frogs and anime.
But speaking of anime, which often has wonderful, amazing character designs, so who are you playing tonight? And who are you?
Hello, I'm Zoe. I'm Zoe Pose on the internet, and my amazing character design was made by our lovely McKenna. So if my character is
Set you
cute,
up for
if you
that.
think my character is so very cute, then you should thank McKenna. She's the best at what she does. But I'm playing Ophelia. She is our Whisper Elf Bard. She has friends. She has disposable friends. She has friends that she will fight to the death for. And she wants to sing and bewitch everybody's heart. That's just what she does.
Well, she's had.
Oh, Chad got you, Will. Chad got you.
You're my new favorite. I like you. Walk of shame, Will. Walk of shame.
I'm gonna go walk into the pool.
Hop of shame. Hop of shame.
Oh my god, chat. For those of you who are watching a VOD, or maybe when this is uploaded to YouTube, Will just fell hook, line, and sinker for an excellently executed D's Nuts joke in the chat.
I'm not sure we've had one of those.
We
I don't
haven't.
remember.
You're the first. You're first. Oh, that was wonderful. I appreciate that.
You're the first to bring these nuts to the chat.
Ah!
We have the BBC. Now we need the nuts to go.
Oh, is Will about to ban them?
No.
Don't you dare!
I'm not going to ban them. I'm not going to ban someone from that. I'm not an asshole.
Damn bands.
That would be. I think that'd be more of a petty move than an asshole move. But speaking of the wonderful character designs, we have
I'm not an ass.
they brought to us by the wonderful McKenna, as mentioned. McKenna, who are you and what are you playing tonight?
Hi everybody, I'm McKenna Ray Tynan, McKenna Ray Art on all the socials. I am playing Avi Avi, the Nick Terra Witch, and I'm here to have a good time tonight, y'all.
All right.
Hey, speaking of good times,
Well, with
McKenna.
that out of the way.
Speaking of good times, McKenna, did you post a TikTok before this?
Of course.
Yeah. Go check out McKenna on TikTok
Always
too.
check those out. They're a lot
Monday,
of fun.
Wednesday, and Friday.
Sorry, that was just me doing
No,
the
that's
thing.
fine.
Appreciate that.
And with all that out of the way, before we get into the recap, Will, why don't you go ahead and roll that intro?
Intro button, go!
Intro. Or at
Oh,
least-
You will have
final
to make
part.
a new intro for the next book.
Admittedly, that if I just change the writing for that bit there, that won't be hard.
Oh,
Matt does
We're
the
sliding.
intro.
I
I
do
fixed
the
it.
intro. I'm continuing to improve my art. I'm very proud of the effect we're going to have for the Western. We're going to have like a wanted board that spins around every time and a new person's board will appear. But that is for the future. So, when last we left our group of students, expiration date on that,
Oh.
at the Magambia, they had just completed a a bit of a above ground dungeon crawl of sorts, where they had to rescue the magistrate mayor, and who was being impersonated by what appeared to be the head of some sort of snake man conspiracy. They managed to fight their way through, though they also resolved some conflicts with, words and friendliness. But they fought their way through, rescued the magistrate mayor, and then returned to kind of start tying some plot threads together. Turns out the head of this conspiracy had also been the one who had been behind the snake person infiltrators at the school, because they had been sneaking into one of the teachers' labs to investigate this mystery egg that they thought was maybe first a snake egg, but turns out to be like some sort of weird insect egg that was drawing insects and gremlins and stuff to the school. And was determined that this egg was probably too dangerous just to keep lying around, but being a magical artifact, research is going to have to be done on just how to destroy it, because it's like impervious to everything currently. So hopefully that will never come up again and we'll never have to worry about it. But then after that, a shocking revelation that you guys had learned all you could learn, really, at least within the confines of the syllabus. And you guys were going to be not promoted, but graduated, I guess, into lore speakers, which technically means you could leave the school if you wanted. Your time at the school is done, but a lot of lore speakers are encouraged to stay on to deepen their knowledge through teaching and to pass on what they've learned to new students. The graduation ceremony is coming up. We are going to ensure that everyone is at the branch level 7. It's not going to play a big part tonight, so we may just either do that off stream together or just I'll tell you all to do it. Because we literally can't do this next part until you do it, so it's literally keep rolling until you succeed. So there's not exactly a lot of drama left. But news of the hero's impending graduation spreads rapidly around the campus. Friends are likely to throw parties for them. Teachers to whom the characters have grown close to offer encouragement and advice. People from Nantambu, the city proper, who they helped, such as Toku and Amichi, hear of the graduation and send congratulations or small gifts. Do you guys have anything you want to do the day of the ceremony before you head out to the actual ceremony itself?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Matt,
We can't just
Matt.
pick up here, my friend. Did
What
you
do you
think you were
mean?
gonna get away with that?
Maybe.
Did you forget where we left off?
Did you forget where we left off, Matthew?
When last we left off on the Strength of Thousands on Twitch.com.
What's this? The channel's being taken over.
I mean, to be fair, if anyone was going to take over the channel, it would either be you or McKenna. I think in the event of I think right now it goes to Matt.
Whoa.
That got real heavy real quick, buddy. How are you? You know, pause. How are you doing?
I'm doing
Pod
good.
check.
I had to update my will recently, so it was on the top of my head.
I need a will? Should I?
Had to
The
update
will
my
for
will.
will.
Yes,
This is not the
you should
venue
always
for that.
you should have a will, because if you don't, it becomes a pain in the ass for your family members afterwards.
I mean, I'll be dead anyway. Whoop! Just dropped my notebook. When last we left off on Strength of Thousands, we had just opened a very particular puzzle box.
A puzzle box? What is that connected to?
So to Kiara, to our best friend, who had come to me in a dream and said some vaguely threatening things that I decided to interpret as positive.
Oh, you tsundere.
In fairness, I believe it was Kiara specifically who sat there with Avi Avi throughout all of her, like, Osaibu lore delvings, So she knows, possibly even better than other party members, Avi's specific proclivity for discerning secrets, and the way unknown knowledge kind of is something that she gloms onto. So telling her, Teehee, I have a secret. Oh no, don't look for me. Like, we know what she's doing. And we had a puzzle box that had been left behind by her that we could finally open, and there was a book inside of it, and that book was entirely empty except for one name. And then you said, and that's where we're ending tonight's episode, and I said, we have 7 minutes left, you can tell us a name, and you said, I want to check something real quick. So, Matthew, did you?
And then I didn't. No, I have a name. But an important question. Can anyone, what languages does everyone here speak?
So many.
Like
Common, Elven, Draconic, Sylvan, Celestial, Zomba, Undercommon, and Oklo.
Common, Gripply, Sylvan, Druidic.
Elvish, Common, Sylvan, Mogli.
All right. So you can read about 75% of what's written on the page. You can read the name because it's just a name and it appears to be in common. Matthias Hale. But then there's a comma and then another word after in a language neither of any of you recognize. Possibly an adjective or a descriptor of some kind.
We society check to know what kind
You could do a society check to at least try and recognize the language.
The language.
I know what I can't read.
I know what I can't read.
Oh, you know what? That's good enough for both of them. This is Tien.
Of course it is.
No, you think that would give Igor a Tien. I didn't. That's surprising.
To be fair, Tien is probably the last language in the Magambia expanse you have to worry about.
Yeah.
There are a lot of cultures in the Magambia from all sorts of places around Galeria. Tien doesn't play a big part. They got their own stuff.
Are there any other words we can make out?
No, it seems that the book either has been like magically scoured of all that was written in it, or it was actually only ever used to write this one name and whatever's in Tien. And this isn't just because I didn't think of something in here. This is literally the thinnest crumb.
Hey, Avi.
Yes.
Here's 18 gold.
Yes.
Go buy a scroll of Comprehend Language.
I can do that, or I can also go to the library and find a TN2 Common Translator and look this up.
And that's 0 gold. We know how much you care about your gold, Igor.
I literally bleed it. I'm at 151 right now.
I think that's more than I have.
I know, I've been hoarding.
But that's okay.
That's not even near what you need to become a lich.
No, it's not. You need like 2,000.
Yeah.
Not that
Well, I mean, we're about to
library.
graduate, and my family will probably be sending me some money for graduation.
I wonder how long until we get tenure.
Probably a while.
Yeah.
10 years, probably, right?
You know, I like the fact that two languages mentioned in the chat, Dothraki and Klingon, are actual languages.
That's true.
Krangin, Krant. That was Klingon.
Kapla!
Anyway,
I
I go to the library.
Okay. Yeah, you have, whether you're familiar with the library and people now being very eager to assist you, probably, maybe a little brown-nosing, you find a common to Tien kind of book very quickly. Give me just a straight intelligence check, unless you have something you can leverage. This is just how much time it takes you to rifle through the book to find it, because are you going to be late to your own graduation ceremony?
Well, we still have to. We still also have the party to do.
Party's probably going to come after.
Oh, okay. I was like,
don't celebrate before you actually graduate. That's like a bad
I was kind of
omen.
wanting to come like immediately post party.
I believe Squishy is learning, if she hasn't already, to speak Gaelic.
Squishy, I might need your help with some stuff for the 5e game. But anyway.
Oh my. You know what? Yeah, it takes you maybe 20 minutes. It's not a complex word. It literally just is the courier.
The
courier.
Which is not a Fallout reference.
Ah, so if we shoot him
Are
in the head,
you
he will stay
sure?
alive.
Yes, Matthias Hale, comma, the courier.
Oh, what? Mystical messages that white people's memory?
Well, I guess we can maybe look through previous students' logs, or at least ask Janatimo or Teacher Ott if they knew a Matthias Hale. Maybe ask around town tomorrow at some point, but I don't think we're gonna get too much further tonight.
You are conceivably about to have unrestricted access to a lot of school records.
Yes.
Well, I'll be.
Gotta abuse that position right away, I do.
Abuse? We're not
Why
abusing
have
it.
Yeah, it
We're
wouldn't be
just
abuse.
if you're
using.
not going to
Yeah, it's not
use
abuse,
them?
actually.
Okay. Well, I suppose we can go to bed for the night. I don't want to.
Well, no, it's the day of the graduation. Or no, I suppose it would have been that
The
we were
night
going back to
before.
the book. So,
Yeah.
yeah. You guys can go to sleep.
Before
If you want.
Before Igor goes to bed that night,
Okay.
during Igor's evening workout, he's going to find like a trash can in the middle of nowhere in the campus, and he's just going to clean out his inventory a little bit.
Did you literally find like a mailbox in Fallout and you're putting all your unwanted inventory in it?
I'm putting the death sticks in the garbage.
You know, I am proud of you.
Because I've just had them. No one's wanted to use them. We haven't been able to use them at all. It's just like, yeah, we'll just get rid of them.
In fairness, I don't even remember what those are. They sound familiar. It's
Yeah, me either.
You wanna buy some death
We
sticks?
had those.
You want to buy some death sticks?
cigarettes. Yes. We were
Or
selling
something
local
akin to
No,
that.
you could wear cigarettes as clothes.
Yeah.
Ew.
I mean, Lady Gaga would.
No, she wouldn't. Don't you dare say that about
Miss Gaga.
Miss Gaga.
Anything else you want to throw out?
No, that was it.
All right. I roll to see if the Leshies actually claim those in the middle of the night.
God, I
If there-
hope not.
If there are
Leshies and
trash
nicotine
goblins.
addiction.
Yeah, so do you guys just go to bed the night before your graduation?
Yeah. See if I have any more crazy dreams.
You have a crazy dream where you show up to your graduation wearing a novelty pumpkin outfit.
Oh, that's a good dream. I look adorable.
You for one moment have panic, and then you guys know this is actually pretty funny.
No, this is it. I am so cute. I am just a sweet little pump. Everybody here adores me. Like that's a that's a good dream for Avi Avi.
Igora.
Hello.
What is this?
It's the Lady Gaga cigarette.
Boo!
Oh,
All right.
I'm annoyed that you were able to find that that quickly.
Yeah, I thought that it was gonna be a picture of a pumpkin.
I wasn't fucking with you all. It actually happened.
Anyway. Igora, you, though, do seem to have a dream yourself that evening. You come to consciousness. You are sort of like waist high, sitting in a calm pool of water. It seems to be kind of a foggy morning in the middle of a very like a swampy scene. There are like lily pads in the water around you. You can almost see maybe a little minnow floating around. The trees are high overhead and kind of leaning in, almost makes sort of like a canopy over this kind of gentle pool.
You just hear Igora say in the dream, "Oh, this is going to be one of those dreams where I die horribly to wake up, isn't it?"
Give me a perception check.
This is going to be one of those dreams where I die horribly to wake up, isn't it? I'm not changing my character sheet's name. I changed it early.
Lore speaker Igora. Yeah, you realize that there is something behind you. You can feel breath.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those dreams where I die horribly and wake up, isn't it?
Do you want to turn around?
If I do, I'll wake up sooner. Turns around.
Give me a will save, because something in you is like, no, don't.
think you underestimate how willing to die
yikes.
Igra is.
That's actually that's exactly what you needed. You do turn around, but you still apparently can't perceive the thing. It's like there is scratches in the air. But as you sort of like try to take this in and see past the static, the shape lunges at you.
Yeah, I thought so.
Do you fight back?
I just let it happen.
All right, it forces your head back down on into the water and then pulls it up and is sort of like waterboarding
As it
you.
pulls me up the second, I was like, buddy, can you just finish me off so I can wake up and go back to sleep already?
He pulls your head slightly out of the water and then stops, leans in. There's something you've forgotten.
Oh.
But she says she'll help you. And then it forces your head under the water, and unless you fight back, you stay there until you drown and wake up.
Ha! And then you just see Igor walk to a board beside the bed, and now there's I think it's that...
More red string.
Yeah, there's just another tick mark. There's if you've ever seen Igor's room and you go in, there's just a chalkboard beside his bed with a whole bunch of tally marks. And that's number of dreams I've died in and woken up.
Oh.
And Zoe, you get a perfect night's sleep, no dreams at all.
Hell yeah. Benji and I did face masks before bed.
Aww.
Self-care and love, babe. Self-care and love.
They even had a cucumber ready.
I need to drink more before I go to sleep next time.
Yeah, so you guys awaken the day of your graduation. Is there anything you want to do prepare? Is there any specific outfits you want to wear or anything?
We're all looking fresh to death, of course. So,
Igor goes to
Avi and her pumpkin.
Igor
Avi and her pumpkin.
Igor goes to pull out his old formal wear, and then it's just no. Ophelia will yell at me. And it's just puts on regular robes.
Accurate.
I think Avi, in honor of her dream, does find one of her coats that is sort of a burnt orangey color to honor the pumpkin dream.
I like it.
You see Igor stepping up. Hey, how's everyone's night? Ophelia, your skin's looking really nice. Did you do a mace mask?
I did, yes. My own
that's
concoction.
Nice.
Ooh.
Sounds delicious.
Benji's I put on my best burlap.
Oh, it looks really cute on you, Benji.
I know.
Taking it in at the waist, added a couple of bows on the shoulders.
Maybe
Too much else would overwhelm her.
Benji actually reaches into a little bag she carries and gives you guys the tiniest little ribbon that they've tied in a bow. It's the smallest little thing, but gives it to each of you. I heard it was a special day.
It was a special day. Thank you, Benji.
I pin it to my lapels or whatever serves as a lapel on what she's wearing.
A little way off in the distance, you guys hear what sounds like some sort of wooden horn, and you think it's about time.
Mm.
You guys gonna head out?
Yeah.
All right. The graduation ceremony takes place before the massive obelisk carved with the names of the thousands of lore speakers throughout the Magambia's history. The sun shines brightly on the large crowd of students, staff, and Ntombo citizens who have come to witness the ceremony. Any kind of NPC you guys can remember by name, you can find them in the crowd.
Except for Kiara.
Except for Kiara, and probably not the ones that, you didn't actually really do any quests for, the proprietor of the Black Hat is not here.
Dang it, I was just gonna say.
Hey, Frogmay.
Okay, not the criminals. Not the criminals, too.
Crystal!
The crystal jaguar is just hanging out in a corner.
Musicians with drums and woodwinds play quick, joyful tunes to get the crowd singing and clapping. The music picks up in pace, with people singing and stomping. Janatimo steps in front of the monument and raises his hands for silence, and the music stops abruptly. He holds a pause for a long moment, the only sounds from a pair of thrushes perched on the monument high above. Their birdsong punctuates the silence. Finally, Janatimo speaks. Students, faculty, and friends of the Magambia, it pleases me today to honor a group of students who have exemplified the heart and soul of what we teach at the Magambia. It is easy for us to think of an institution as an entity in and itself, something whose reputation is created by its existence. Even though we know that this is false, even though we know that an institution is only as good as the people who make it up, we often forget. Storytellers remind us of important truths, and I remind you of this. These students, and he takes a moment to look each of you in the eye, have served as constant and vigilant reminders to me that individual deeds and actions are the foundations we use to build the principles and reputation of the Magambia. Those deeds and actions are not just made from what we have done, they are built from what we wish to do, who we seek to be. Janatimo turns away from the stage. Conversants, who is it that you seek to be? What do you seek to learn? And this is a moment where each of you guys can do your brief little speech about, now that you have ostensibly learned everything the school has to teach you, what do you still seek to learn? And if none of you want to volunteer to go first, I will pick one of you. Oh, McKenna? Okay.
Avi putters a little way up onto the if there's a podium, she has to like kind of flap up onto it. She can't stand in front
A very
of it.
nice box is provided for you.
Oh, a wonderful box. And she says, I think one of the most valuable things I have learned here during my time at the Magambia is about the perspective of other people, and not just what is written in books, but what we have learned from intermingling with the community. And I think as a teacher here, I want to impart my unique perspective as well. I think I come from a place that maybe a lot of people don't know about or don't understand or have misconceptions about. And I think that I will be the most useful and at my most helpful if I get to teach other people about that. And in turn, I can learn about them as well, just by being around and talking to them. So that is my creed as a future teacher at the Magambia. Thank you.
Clap, 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 clap.
Putters away.
Janatima gives you a big smile.
Oh.
Does anyone else want to volunteer to go next? All right. Ophelia.
Does she sing a song?
Ophelia does not sing a song. Well, she sings a little bit of a song. I didn't prepare anything, but she sings a little bit of a song. She always sings before she does a little speech, you know. She does. But during my time at the Magambia, I have met so many wonderful friends and made so many connections. And we used to be asked what we thought about magic and what we wanted to learn. And I always said that I wanted to learn from people how to use magic to be my most authentic self. And I just wish, as a teacher, that I can help my students also use magic to be their most authentic selves. As simple as that.
Very well, good. Clap, 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 clap. Aerith also makes a speech. It rambles a little bit, but she does mention that the thing she wants to learn is she has all this knowledge, all these facts, all these spells, these skills. She still wants to learn how best to use them to make the world around her a better place.
Aww.
And finally, we come to Igora.
Yeah. Igora takes like a minute when walking up there and just kind of like looks out at the people. It's just like, for the longest time, magic to me was a destructive force, something to be used to tear down and to destroy. But magic has many more purposes than that. And I think my philosophy for it has shifted. I hope to learn of more ways for magic to serve man instead of ruling over him. And then Igor just leaves.
Yeah. Let's see. As you guys finish up your speeches, Janatimo resumes the ceremony. Thank you for your words, which I know one day will be exceeded by your deeds. I want everyone to know you have agreed to stay for a time and teach your students what you have learned. Janatimo then kind of steps back and motions to the monument and holds out an ancient chisel. I have told you before, and I will tell the world. I look forward to telling your story as you go forth into the world. All that's left for you to do now is carve your name on this monument, along with all the lore speakers who have come before. And there's a big round of applause, and you guys are handed the chisel, and you can take a moment to carve your names alongside all the amazing teachers who have come before. And somewhere along there, Janatimo, his name is in there, Teacher Ott.
Igor just looks at Ophelia and says, "Go ahead, Ophelia."
So Ophelia just kind of goes up and finds a really small spot, pulls out a needle, and starts chiseling her name in with the needle.
To each their
To
own.
make it super
With
tiny
a
and
little
delicate.
rose next to it.
Aw.
You do see a variety of penmanship.
Do we need to make a crafting check or something?
You
No.
next,
God.
Igora.
There's some magic in it's an ancient magic chisel, it helps.
Oh, I love that.
And plus it's more about the ceremony than people actually being able to read it.
I am by far the least important person here, Ophelia. Avi, go ahead.
Feel that way about yourself, Igora?
Yeah, you're wrong. You should go
Have
next.
that?
That's amazing. I've never met an unimportant person.
That's
Just
true.
y'all go ahead. I also kind of want to take some time to try to see what name Ophelia put on the thing.
Good luck. Can I make a crafting check to make it so that he can't see?
Sure. $29. We'll make a
Perception?
Make an eyeball.
Perception check.
Make an eyeball
Yeah,
check.
opposed perception.
I need to be a 29.
Not quite.
Hero point.
Oh, you got a crit. You got a crit. What was?
You gotta respect the nat 20.
Boo!
Hero point. I will have this
Alright,
information. Just DM me.
I will message you guys.
Yeah.
That's fair.
This has been bugging me for weeks, though. I need to know.
I got to know. Oh,
I'm
hero
just
point
gonna-
for Igora.
Thank you for the hero
Ooh.
point.
This is.
Are you guys all finished carving your names into the obelisk?
Yeah.
So, the ceremony kind of starts to break up a little bit. There are apparently parties some people go to, and there's a stream of people who come up and congratulate you. But after that, Janatimo kind of takes you guys aside, and he mentions that in the coming weeks, he is actually going to be heading out. As is his sort of style, he often leaves the school for his own missions. He admits that he's actually stuck around the school grounds a little more often than he does usually, but your exploits were quite fascinating, so he wanted to get a full account of it before he left. But also, before he leaves, as is kind of traditional sometimes for new lore speakers at the school, sometimes they need a little help, a little assistance in kind of getting into their duties, into the new flows. So he has found from amongst the staff, from there's a pool, a TA for you guys, essentially. and he kind of like puts his hands to his head, and like obviously he's casting a message spell. And you guys see kind of emerging from some nearby trees actually appears to be at first a rather short. This is a small-sized individual, and it seems like at first they're wearing a very wide-brimmed hat, like one of those like I don't know, woven hats from Japan or the rice fields. I don't know what they're called. But as he gets closer, you realize that it's not a hat. He actually seems to have a large mushroom on his head.
Mushroom man.
Oh wait, no, Ophelia's not happy with that.
I mean, he'll be a real
and as
fun
it gets
guy.
closer, you notice he has like the tiniest little like gnarled cane. He doesn't seem to like need it necessarily. He likes to walk with a walking stick, and he is dressed in kind of light blue kind of robes, and he seems to have various tiny pouches on his belt and everything. And it's kind of interesting as he gets close. Other than the nice kind of smooth top of his mushroom head, it's a weird combination. He almost looks like a dried out mushroom, except not quite desiccated. He just looks like quite weathered. And he kind of tilts his head up now so you can see under the mushroom kind of thing. And he's wearing one of the wooden Magambia masks, but it appears to be a eyeless bat. And Janatima says, well, I will leave you all to be better acquainted. I have some things to take care of.
Oh, wait, one more thing.
Yes?
Genetimo, I kind of pull him aside a little bit. Are you familiar with anyone by the name of Matthias Hale?
He looks thoughtful for a moment and kind of taps his chin. I feel like I have heard the name. That they were...
Maybe they went by the Courier?
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard of them. I've never met them, or maybe even met someone who has, but I've heard of them, that they are a sought-after courier who operates all throughout the Magambia Expanse. They're someone who apparently didn't like being tied down to any location, so they took a job just ferrying important packages by hand across the Mwangi Expanse.
Sounds like a tough guy to track down.
Yes. I don't actually know how you go about finding him. I don't even know what ancestry he is.
Not a great start.
Might be from Tian. Maybe.
I mean, that doesn't really sound like a Tian name, though, does it?
No, it doesn't. But
I can keep my ears open. I know where to find you now.
yes, please. Let me know if you find anything.
I will, of course, do so.
Okay.
The little mushroom man kind of finally speaks up. Hello. This one is known as Endures in Darkness.
Oh.
It is a pleasure to meet all of you. I hope we will have a wonderful working relationship. I am more than happy to answer any questions you may have about my skills, my specialty. Please, I want you to be able to trust this one.
Well, any friend of Janetimo's is a friend of ours as far as I'm concerned.
I would not presume to believe that teacher Janetimo and myself have that kind of relationship. We are colleagues of sorts, but I myself have not achieved it. This one has not achieved the rank of lore speaker as of yet.
Oh, so you're a student then?
I am. This one is in a strange in between. I keep doing. I'm just gonna drop the convention. I can't keep track of it. I have not completed the requisite hours. It is a matter of somewhat complex situation.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully helping us be a TA will do what you needed to do for your hours.
I am hoping it will give me the requisite motivation and inspiration.
Okay. What did you come here to study?
Following the life I led before, I felt a life of academic learning could be a doorway to a new life and new possibilities.
The life you led before?
Yes.
Can I ask what kind of life that was? Is that rude?
I do not believe it is rude. Let us find somewhere we can sit. It could potentially be a long story, unless you wish me to be brief.
I like details.
We
Does she
got
work?
we got a little bit of a like sitting room in the party spot, and then we can also work on setting up while we're hearing the story then too.
That sounds agreeable.
Yeah, we're gonna have a bit.
And he kind of waddles over with you guys with his little gnarly cane.
Ophelia keeps a good distance from.
Summons Gamma, calls Choco. If you don't want to walk, just hop on.
I feel it is good for the circulation.
Aight. Avi? Ophelia?
I'm a big believer in personal health.
Just hop into
Ophelia
Gamma.
hops on Choco.
I jump into Gamma's mouth.
Side saddle?
Of course.
Yeah, you guys get to the what is it? The tree stump library where you guys have been setting up for the party, I suppose. And Endures in Darkness finds a little stump seat in the library and sits down. To make a long tale agreeably shorter, I served for a long time once I reached an age of responsibility as a medic in the Great Mushroom War.
I know anything about the Great Mushroom Wars just off the top of my head from what I've learned.
Give me a society check if anyone wants to know.
Definitely. Maybe not.
Ophelia, you once heard, and it was almost sort of like a joke, a story of a massive temple complex somewhere out in the jungle that was so big it went under the ground into a series of caves, and because of the magic and holiness of the temple, underground fungus that grew around the base of the temple eventually came to life and sentience and started its own culture down there. And at one point, when evil forces attempted to assail the temple, not only were they attacking above ground, but they were attacking below ground through the caves. And since the foot of this temple had been the only home the mushroom people had ever known, they fought bitterly to defend it without even really understanding why they were fighting.
Yeah, mushroom people are scary.
Oh.
Right.
This one has learned a great deal about how to heal and mend wounds from their time in the war.
Oh, thank God.
Yes. Specifically, he does mention that this is a weird thing to sort of say in character in a way, but he is a full-on druid. He has he prepares a lot of healing spells. So,
Interesting.
yes, and he makes it clear that his duties as your teaching assistant are not confined to clerical, bureaucratic, or on campus things. He will follow you guys. He is very dutiful, and believes in following the chain of command and everything. So from this point on, he basically works for you guys.
Well, I mean, at this point, your duties will become clerical in some way.
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum.
Also, I wouldn't mind Ophelia too much. We had a really, really bad run-in with a mushroom guy who was really, really mean and made her really, really sick. So I think she's just a little bit nervous.
That is funny in a way, because I am a mushroom that is well schooled in healing people from wounds and diseases.
I'm sure she'll come around.
I also have, I'm not sure if this would necessarily be helpful to anyone, but just as a sort of a consequence of my people and ancestry, I can help people sort of perform small ceremonies to help clear the mind and sometimes kind of expand consciousness.
Oh, what does that
For
mean?
instance, and he kind of bows to you. I understand you are of the magic persuasion that draws your power from an outside force.
My whole
If
coven is.
if you require it, I can perhaps help you deepen your connection by expanding your senses with a small little ceremony. If you don't mind artificially expanding your consciousness.
Hey, a quick question for you. Just,
Yes?
before you help Avi out with that. Hypothetically, do you need to do a ceremony for this, or is this like a spore thing that you produce? And if it's a spore thing that you produce, do you mind if I sit you right at the top of the shelves here for the party tonight?
I don't believe there is a cultural component to this, and it is somewhat sacred to my people.
Then never mind.
Plus, I mean, to potentially commune with my patron, I wouldn't want to just be all willy-nilly about it. I think a certain amount of ritual and pomp and circumstance is definitely in order.
And I should clarify that it wouldn't be terribly fitted for a festive setting. It becomes more kind of somber and introspective.
Okay. Igor, do we have time for that before the party?
I mean, there's like I kind of like made like a private room for people who wanted to like have some like quiet sensory time from the big party, so you can use that room if you'd like.
Oh, you mean the smooching room?
No, the sensory room. In case people got like overly stimulated by like party noises, like a
The
quiet
calm room.
Yeah.
Is there a different room for smooching?
Yeah. There's the and then Igor just like goes to like, if you remember that one room that like had the rundown beds that all the paper lizards were hanging out in.
God, yes.
Igor has like a whole bunch of like origami folded that has like light spells on it to like create mood lighting.
Aww.
Cute.
And then there's
So
just
you
like
really just
a whole bunch of pillows. Oh, y'all, Igor has kitted out this stump library. This is where I'm going to be teaching my classes.
Aww.
So you're gonna have a smooching room where you teach your classes?
I mean, it's not going to be used as a smooching room while I'm teaching my class. It's going to be a storage closet. But like for the party, I figured, we're all like young people, and that's like something that people might be interested in. It might be things that they aren't interested in, and so like I'm making the party provide for the people. Yeah.
Right.
Like it's not going to be a room that I probably partake in because I'm Igra and I don't do that type of thing.
I should mention, though, I am not exactly the party sort, but if you need me nearby, but not underfoot so much, and he kind of like taps his little cane on the floor twice, and there's this kind of sudden little explosion of glowing green dust, and then all that's left behind is a little rat with like tiny mushroom on his head. And he kind of stands up on his hind legs and just waves at you.
That feels apocalyptic to me, but I'll unpack that later. And Igor is going to go and continue setting up for the party.
Basically, he cast Wild Shape.
I know, but
such a cute little rat.
But the cordyceps mushroom controlled rap is like scary.
Click, 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 click.
No. And thus, the NPC that was going to be our healer was killed.
No, I'm going to go.
Considering the amount of heal spells he has, that might actually take a while.
No, I have a ritual to go do with this new friend.
I'm going to finish
Have
getting the
fun.
party set up. Ophelia, do
Yeah,
you
have
want
fun at
to help?
your ritual. I am not doing that. Yeah.
I have an Ophelia room. I have a room that I set up with just like a stage for you if you wanted to use it.
It's an old lecture hall.
Yeah.
jam sesh. Everybody can bring in.
Well, no, I kind of like
Sounds
so like there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rooms, including like the main central area. So I've kind of converted them all to like party specific rooms.
Oh, by the way, while you guys are sitting here, a bird comes and delivers a little note specifically to Ophelia, and it's asking whether or not you would want to do a sort of like duet. Shizere has been working on this wine glass musical performance thing. Like,
That's so on brand for Cesare. It kind of hurts.
yeah. So, unless you have any more questions for Endures in Darkness, he's just gonna hang around like sort of like a weird rat form valet, waiting for you guys to need him.
I want to do the ritual, the mind
Okay.
cleansing ritual.
How long were you guys going to have the party after the graduation ceremony? Like a couple hours or?
So if the graduation started at like noon and went to like 1, we were going to have the party I think like around 7 or 8.
Okay, so you got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Like post dinner, we have snacks, but we're not eating people dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
Party.
And I'm telling people to like come with like a full stomach, and like eat a lot of bread at dinner.
all right. Give me a quick second here. Endures in Darkness mentions that you probably want to find a room with ventilation that can be turned on and off, like possibly just with sufficient windows that can be opened and closed.
Room with windows?
B7 has that. That's the quiet room, so you're good.
Okay.
All right. So, he asks if you.
tripping on mushrooms.
Huh?
Yeah, Avi, you're not doing this because you feel pressure to try this, do you?
Pure mushroom pressure.
I'm doing this because I want to expand my mind and my perspective.
Okay, now Avi, just know that can become a very addicting thing. So just
I
be
think
careful.
knowledge in general is addicting. That's why I'm.
It's this is great. You guys are barely even teachers, and you're already doing your own after-school special.
It only took us like exactly 45 minutes.
I love it.
Start like our own little mini dare program.
Have pencils, the pencils that get shorter and shorter, and then move your point.
All right. So what do I need to do? Do I need to help you set up with anything? I have herbs, I have flowers, and I have dried flowers, and I also have it. She just starts like pulling. You don't know where she's getting all of these dried herbs from, but she has a ton of them.
This one would suggest first that, so this can remain private if you wish, you can close the door and the windows.
There's a curtain, so.
All right, and kind of plops down on his little stubby legs on the floor, puts down his little cane on the floor in between you. It will take a couple minutes for things to really sort of take effect, and I found that in past this helps with the relaxing of the mind, and he's going to cast dancing lights just as a series of just 4 little globes of light, and they are specifically sort of like in a diamond kind of shape in front of you, just in the air, and he just kind of holds his little hands up, and they just slowly kind of rotate. And you are totally going along with the process, right?
Oh, of course. Every step of it.
So I'm not even going to get you to like roll a fort save or something. And after a minute, you kind of just have sort of a realization, and you look around, and you are just in sort of a calm, kind of like almost misty void now. And you look back, and now Endures in Darkness and the lights are now gone. And sitting where Endures in Darkness was is Agate.
Hello, Agate.
And Agate walks up and nuzzles you a little bit.
Hello, my friend.
and then turns away, but does that thing where cats, they let their tail linger on you for a second.
Mm-hmm.
It walks back to like sitting in front of you, and kind of reaches down, puts one paw on the ground, like a thwump. But then as they lift the paw up, there's a series of small flat stones rising up from underneath where their paw was.
Oh.
And you don't know where it comes from, but because you are like your patron theme is runes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you hear sort of just well, not almost a voice, but an idea in your head. Ask your questions,
Oh, I have so
and you do notice all the stones. You get the impression there's probably something on the stones, but all the stones are face down on this little pile of stones.
It's like a matching game.
Oh my god, I don't even know where to start. I have so many questions.
Well, I think part of the process is focusing your mind and finding out what is your question, what you want to know. If you're thinking about too many things, it's hard to focus on the road ahead of you. And you're like, oh, that's actually pretty good advice. Where did that come from?
May I ask when you first met my coven?
And top of the stone on the stack wiggles a little bit.
Can I pull it out?
Yeah. You turn it over, and the symbol carved on the stone at the top is like a little seed with a tiny sprout coming out of it.
Oh. So maybe at the very beginning of things. We are Fae. We have been around for a long, long time. Can I ask why you continue working with us?
The next little stone wiggles a little.
Very, very gently with both my little bat hands, pull it out and put it on the ground in front of me.
This symbol is a little more complicated, but it looks like a combination of an eye and a sunrise.
Okay, hold on, I dropped my pencil. I need to get it back. An eye and a sunrise. Okay. Is there anything that you would ask of me specifically?
There's a pause for a little while. And then top stone starts to wiggle. Oh yeah, again, they would be pretty big for you. And this one just seems to be kind of a forced perspective of a winding road.
Huh.
Part of being a rune witch is interpreting runes.
But what if I interpret them incorrectly?
While this is all going on, and all you see, Ophelia, outside is maybe an odd smell coming from the room, and what appears to be some strobing lights. What is Ophelia getting up to?
Well, I would say that Ophelia went to go hang out with Shazare and plan what little, like, wine glass performance they're gonna be doing.
Give me a performance check to see if you guys can kind of jam, like really mesh your styles together. You find a way to make it work.
Hell yeah. It was a wacky, zany thing, but we totally did.
Yeah, you find that the high kind of notes from the wine glasses are very good kind of accents for certain kind of moments in a song. So Is there anything you want to get up to before the party begins?
No, just kind of like checking outfits, making sure everything looks nice, making sure there's like, I guess now that she knows that there's a couple of extra rooms that we're using, that they're actually like comfy for people.
By the way, another message does arrive for you. This is a proper letter, though, and it does turn out to be a letter from your mom. And it's kind of long and rambling, but the gist of it is she is so very proud of you. She makes a point to mention that you have achieved this level at the school younger than she did.
That's really big. Ophelia's mom never really compliments her or tells her like that she's done anything better or sooner. She thinks very highly of herself.
Admittedly, there is also a smaller envelope inside which has about 20 gold pieces in it, and it says, you probably need to get some better clothes now that you're a lore speaker.
There it is.
That sounds about right.
There it is. Yeah. Good old mom. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, is this the first time we've had someone highlight a message in chat?
I think it might
No,
be.
Squishy's done it a couple of times.
Excuse
Oh,
me,
that's true.
but do you... I don't want to walk into another one, my dude.
You're pushing your luck a little,
Do you not know where this
953.
one goes?
I don't know where this one goes, and I don't want to walk into it.
You don't know where Bofa goes?
I'm not walking into this one.
I've spent enough time on the internet where this goes.
You got me once tonight.
You got me once, so shame on you. Got me twice.
These nuts.
Yeah.
All right, but
Spending those channel points, like,
something to spend them on.
I've got so many. I should really start spending more. Back to the Samba room, Mushroom Samba. Do you have any other questions? You do sort of feel that the effect is maybe lessening a little, so time might be running out.
Yes. I hope this is okay to ask, but I'm really worried about her. Is there anything you can tell me about my friend Kiara?
There's kind of a long pause, and for the first time since you've been here, there's like a bit of a breeze, like a wind, and it's a little cold.
We closed the window.
And the top stone does start to wiggle a little bit.
I pull it.
Oh, the moment you reach for it, though, it flips and flies off a little bit farther away. And Agate, who has just been sitting patiently this whole time, kind of like does a little like nervous hiss at it.
Hurry over to look at it.
Give me a reflex check. It's bouncing like a bean now.
Oh no. Not my worst save.
Bouncing like a bean and
22.
Okay, I'll take it.
That's not bad actually. Yeah, you managed to catch the stone. You turn it over. It is the shape of a heart split in two.
Oh.
But not like jagged lines, like a clean cut. And as you're staring at this, the whole kind of image of this this space and the stone sort of melts away.
Yeah. I just say, thank you. I love you. That's it.
To endures and like endures darkness sitting there's like, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciated that greatly. That was amazing.
Okay, now we should probably open a window.
Okay. We
So.
can open a window. I need to write all this down before I forget about it.
And for the record, that sort of thing can be done once every 3 days.
Ooh, okay.
It's good for Avi. Avi can do that.
That's
That's all, Avi.
Also, thanks for the gift
thank
of
you,
sub.
bad guy.
Aw.
Yeah, thanks for the gifted
Aw,
subs.
now I got my gifted sub. Thank you very much. And I'm going to do...
A good Bofa sport.
All right, chat. I apologize in advance. By the way, I'm going to have to fix the cameras on the map screen because I actually like edited a map for the party.
Oh, wow.
Oh! That's exciting.
Well, we'll let Will do that. We'll endure the chaos for a moment.
Yes, I apologize, chat. Everything is broken. Well, it's actually just McKenna.
Just to give you guys a little heads up too, Endures in Darkness has been sort of briefed on the information that he thought you guys would find useful. You guys are going to have about 2 months of downtime to prepare for your role as a teacher. You have to settle into some offices. He mentions that he's been told most new teachers take offices in the Heron archives, but you can claim an office in whatever of the 10 oldest campus buildings that you want. And you'll be meeting with like senior faculty members to discuss curriculum and classes, and being briefed on etiquette. Like it's not actually allowed outside of specific instances to polymorph your students.
All right.
Is that something that teachers do? I was never
Darn.
polymorphed.
Well, we had a teacher once who would polymorph them into a ferret and throw them around the room. It was a disciplinary thing.
I once heard a story of a elven mage who had a number of apprentices that they turned into boars because they dropped a satchel in a river.
That's
I don't
very
get
specific.
that reference.
This is a very specific reference to the Blood Elf starting zone in WoW.
Oh wow, that's a deep cut,
It
man.
is.
Jeez, how do you remember that?
Because Blood Elves are my favorite ancestry in WoW.
It's a starting zone quest, though. Jesus. But yeah. Unless you guys have something to do, time passes and we finally reach the party.
Can I go through the party rooms?
Sure.
All right, so B1.
Party room. Woo woo.
We have B1. It's the main dance area and party area. So this is like sort of like for your like general dancing and more more relaxed dancing.
Okay.
And then B2, the first of like the covered rooms that has a curtain across it, is a game room
Nice.
with like board games and things. B3 is the Ophelia room with the stage set up for Ophelia to perform whenever she wants and to draw a crowd. B4 is the second cushion room where there's just a bunch of pillows on the ground and stuff for people to be
It's just some
comfortable.
big ass cushions. Jeez.
Yeah. B5 is the bar, which is an open bar where Shazari can hang out, and then like the room itself is storage for all the booze that I bought. B6 is the other cushion room. B7 is the quiet room. It's where you were doing your meditation, Avi. And then B8 is the mosh pit.
Hell yeah, mosh pit.
Interesting.
I don't know. It seems like the performance room might also be a little bit of a mosh pit. So.
Yeah, that's fine. The performance room is Ophelia's room to do with what she wants.
You are also aware that very soon this place will be, fixed up and made into a proper library again.
Oh, I thought I was going to convert it into my office, but that's okay.
You get an office, Will. There are like 8 rooms and a huge ass library thing here.
Yeah,
Honestly, we could all take an office.
we could. This could
in
become
this.
our building.
Yeah,
Because
we'll see.
there's one for Ophelia, there's one for Avi, there's one for Igora, there's one for Choco, there's one for Gamma, there's one for Aerith, and there's one for Bob and Benji.
The summoned creature and the pet don't get offices.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, why does Choco get an office and not Agate?
Because
just-
we
I-
owe Choco
I
a
just
blood
pointed
debt,
at Choco.
Avi!
You
Because
owe
we
Choco a
blew-
blood debt. Let's be very clear.
We owe Choco
Actually, yeah, because
a blood debt!
Avi was the last one standing, and She actually was the one who was told you guys owe the blood debt.
Yeah, but here's the thing: was she told that we owe a blood debt, or was she the one that invoked the blood debt by saving us via Choco?
Interesting question.
Who made the
That's
deal?
An important question.
Choco
We certainly didn't do anything.
Choco just appears in Ophelia's room one night. Help me kill Igora.
You know, she would. She would.
I would not.
The debt must be
Think about
paid.
it.
You don't
You
know
think
that
about
much
it.
about me, Igora. I don't have to kill you yet.
Yet.
All right. So yeah, Ophelia,
Yes, sir.
as soon as the party starts, do you launch into performance?
Heck yeah.
All right. So combined with Shazari off to the side doing almost like a wine glass DJ kind of thing, give me a performance check. And if you'd like, you can mention like what style, what genre of music you're doing at first,
Right.
what the tempo's like.
So it'd be funny because earlier we were talking about you said my mom, but literally before that I was coming up with like songs you could sing. Totally Panic at the Disco. There's literally that song, Hey Look Ma, I Made It.
Aww.
Hey look ma, I made it. Everything's coming up aces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey look ma, I made it.
Give me a performance check.
Isn't the irony of that song is that he's doing cocaine throughout the whole music video because it's actually very sad.
Isn't the irony of that Shazare and Ophelia were practicing that while Avi was high on druidic mushrooms?
Hey man, there's a big difference between shrooms and coke. I'm just gonna get that out there real quick.
Is that 33? All right.
God damn.
So, thanks to the over 30 performance check you got, special NPC spawns. There is a young druid woman, a young dwarf lady in the front row of who she seems to have forced her way there, and you notice now as you're sort of coming off the climax of your song, she is wearing a tunic with your name written on it, like Ophelia, and like little stars and music notes stitched into it, and she seems to have two little like lanterns with captured magical lights that she's holding up and kind of jumping up and down.
I forgot to say this. The entirety of like the dance area is lit by like fireflies and jars.
Is this where I get to invoke my feet?
How many those did you eat while you were putting them together, Will?
Not enough.
Froggy boy. And you do notice this is probably like a very young student. She has flaming red hair. It's down in two big kind of what do you call it? Like not ponytails, I guess, or braids on the side of her head. Got a lot of freckles, piercing green eyes, and she's just like almost crying. She just is so enamored with your performance.
So wholesome. I wink at her.
She rolls a fort save to not faint.
Oh no.
She passes. She's a dwarf. She's got a good fort.
Good girl.
Can't have weak fans.
And
you know, for the other things that they have to do. And be squeak. That's so cute.
You rolled over 30, so you have managed to spawn a groupie.
Hell yeah.
Just shy of holding up a sign, your music saved me.
Aww.
Next time I got
Next
that. But yeah, that kind of ushers in the party. We got the bar going. We got the, what did you say? The
Shazari runs out into the front room, pulls off a big sheet off the bar. Yeah. Up on the bookshelves, you do see a slightly snoozing, just quietly keeping an eye on everything. A little mushroom rat.
What if I brought him like a little bit of cheese? Would he appreciate that, or would I?
Because he is in his wild shaped rat form. Yes. Usually he wouldn't eat cheese. Usually he just needs like water. Because he's a fungus leshy. Technically they don't actually change the rules for this. Fungus don't need light. but fungus leshies still do. So all he needs is water and sunlight.
Interesting.
He doesn't actually
I get him
need to
some
eat.
cheese anyway.
Yeah.
I get him just a little bit of like.
I mean, you guys have been like, even though this isn't like an officially sanctioned party, someone apparently spoke to the cafeteria on your behalf, and there are like some camembert, some brie.
I love that. As someone who's recently
No
become
blue cheese because I hate that
enchanted-
stuff.
That's fair. that's fair.
Charcuterie board. Charcuterie board.
Charcuterie. As someone who's recently become absolutely enamored with the like fancy cheese section of Trader Joe's, every time I go there, I just stand there and stare at it all for like a solid 5 minutes. It feels like an hour when I'm just deciding which one I'm going to take home with me.
I go feral for a charcuterie.
I become a different person in the fancy cheese section of Trader Joe's. I look at all the name cards and they're like, this cinnamon crusted Toscano, great on an autumnal cheese board. And I was like, yes, that would be great on an autumnal cheese board. Cheese board for who? I'm sorry.
For me.
Autumnal cheese board.
All right, how
As you
long
can
did it
see.
take for us to get on the topic of food?
An
Go
hour
on
and
a
20
rant for cheese.
An hour.
That's
and
not actually
26
bad, then.
minutes. Not bad.
That's the best we've ever done.
Have you guys ever had one of those little clay pots that you warm up specifically to warm up brie inside them?
No. But that sounds like something I need to do before I die because
I saw that come into the corner of Ophelia's camera. Just thump on the.
Feta.
feta.
It has its place. God, now I'm thinking about my favorite cheeses.
Anyway,
What
yeah,
is your
no,
favorite
we've got
cheese,
the
Matt?
best.
I don't know exactly. A good brie is really nice,
A good brie is really nice. I had a
especially if it's warm.
Yes, I had a pear jam at one point that I put like a little sourdough toast with brie and the pear jam.
What are we
on top.
talking about?
We're talking about cheese, man. We're talking about cheese.
Roll for cheese. No. Will, as the party planner, what are you doing now that the party is in swing?
Oh, Igor is not there.
Where is Igor?
Igor
Is this all a distraction so you can break into the bank?
No, this is. It's just like it's just a nice thing for other people because
We
yeah, Igor doesn't need it. Igor is just there. So
Hold on a
he got
second.
it together for everyone, and so he's just like everyone's doing their thing, and then Igor is probably just kind of like taking a quiet moment to themselves to walk around for a bit. They've had a lot on.
immediately noticed.
They've had a lot on their mind recently, and they need to have a little bit of a walk.
Walkabout?
Yeah,
Are you walking the campus or just like the outside of the building?
like the campus.
It's still not quite dark out because it's only 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's not that late in the year. So the sun is getting closer to the horizon, but it hasn't actually touched it yet. So depending on which direction you're looking, the sun will either be directly in your face or not.
I probably walk with my back to the sun.
You actually run into teacher Janatimo, who's walking back, you think, in the direction of his office.
I just kind of like nod and I keep walking.
Nothing else you want to keep an eye out for or want to do while you're walking about?
No, I mean,
What
there's the usual, like, me walking around campus. I'm like, okay, so what will try to kill me? Because I have almost died on campus a couple of times. But, like, otherwise, I'm just kind of walking, and Igor's taking a moment to himself. He'll probably show up to, like, the party around, like, 9 or 10 o'clock, just, like, not at the start.
All right. You guys do mention that you probably notice Igor is gone. Do you want to send your TA after him? Or do you want to do anything? Or do you just respect that he maybe just needs some time to decompress after all the party planning?
I will respect his space, especially as that's probably what I am going to do once it is like socially acceptable and I'm done celebrating with people.
Yeah, a lot of people take the time to kind of come over and congratulate you guys. Half of them you've never actually recalled meeting. They're probably just people who have seen you in the halls or like sat at the back of your class and they think, oh yeah, we're friends. They get me.
I get them. I get all of them. I just am taking the opportunity to have so many people who want to talk to me, because quite honestly, Avi's not super, like, she's not unapproachable, but she's also not the kind of person who's ever been crazy popular. So it's kind of nice to have a little bit of attention. She's not used to it.
Yeah.
I'll have my thimble full of hard cider and take some time to revel in the new experience.
I'm quickly just checking this. Strands of Glowing Dawn shows up very briefly with her two kids. But it's the thing where you bring young kids to a party where you're not going to stay very long because the kids are either going to get overstimulated or they get tired real quick.
That's why we have the game room.
But she makes an appearance. She gives you all, anyone who she can find, a hug and congratulates you, and fairly quickly gets her kids back because it's almost past their bedtime. Everyone from the dorm shows up, and Karut sort of enters and then hugs the wall until she can get to the quiet room and just sort of hangs out there for the whole evening with a small glass of fruit juice.
Aww.
Occasionally feeding her chicken.
Adorable.
As he shows up, you sense maybe she's a little jealous, maybe a little envious, maybe just a little surprised that you guys have gotten the lore speaker before her, but she also does seem very proud and very happy for you. Halabrim, Ignacy, Mariama, Luxolo, Okoro, everyone from the Spire Dormitory makes an appearance at one point to personally congratulate you all. The only person...
I'm proud of her for coming out to this, like, unsanctioned alcohol party.
Yeah, she very, very much, literally, you can almost see her head immediately start moving away so she doesn't actually see the bar. Shazari suddenly disappears from it under the table or something.
Oh, Shazari. It's not a secret anymore.
But yeah, the only, of all the people you guys knew who were in the Spire Dormitory, obviously there's only one absence.
Well, technically she did make an appearance last night, but...
Did you tell anyone about that?
I was about to say.
I told the team.
Okay, yeah, because you guys went and found the puzzle blocks, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually, Igra makes his way back. Party, goes on as parties do. Unfocused but fun. And eventually, you guys are left as people kind of slowly trickle out at the end of the night. Shazari is now kind of leaning against the wall on a little stool behind the bar, kind of snoring gently, having a cat now. You find Aerith in the quiet room with a bucket on her head, also having a cat nap.
Oh, speaking of cats, did Mr. Man ever make an appearance? The fancy man?
No.
Fancy boots, fancy paws. He didn't come.
No. At least, not that you guys saw. He might have...
Had a secret kitty cat rendezvous. Speaking
meow
of which,
meow.
Secret kitty cat rendezvous. Hello, Cooper.
Hi.
But yeah, it's in that kind of nice, kind of quiet, almost semi-exhausted state at the end of a party. Yeah. You guys are all just kind of sitting around in a corner, nursing your last drinks, and reminiscing that this is the last night before you guys really have to dive into your preparations for being a teacher. What that entails, we're probably going to have to get into next week because it's a lot, especially right off the bat, and I don't want to necessarily kind of cut it in the middle here tonight. So
yeah,
that's all right if we end a little early tonight.
Yeah.
Plus, there might be, because there is 2 months of downtime, and so I might talk to the players a little bit. There might be individual projects you guys may want to get into as you prepare. We may have a minor time skip, and then we come back.
Oh, good. All of our outfits will change.
Yeah, if you guys want to do
No,
a
they
haircut or
don't.
something.
No, they don't. No, no one gets a haircut. Everyone's outfits the same. Fuck you, Will.
I will put them into Photoshop and just like change the saturation or the color.
Ugh,
Picture will be
you
the
hate
same,
me.
just different
You all
colors.
hate me.
I don't hate you.
I would never change my signature hat, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Fair, fair.
She's perfect just the way she is.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way
Maybe
you
she
are.
changes her hair color. No, just kidding.
Just make it an animated gift as it cycles through all the colors of the rainbow.
Oh,
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
But everyone, thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of The Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv.
That was the last
The
one.
end of book
Top
2.
Rolls. We are now officially done book 2.
1/3.
So yeah, we've done that. Don't forget to check out our other shows like the League of Amazing Adventurers, the Calling Chronicle, which is ending this week. So if you want to see the end of that campaign and a teaser for the Spelljammer campaign, come and check us out there. Also, sorry chat, this is taking me long to do the intro because I am typing in a raid as we do it.
Ooh.
But thank you all so much for coming. Don't forget to check out those other shows. Tomorrow night we start Cult of the Lamb, so if you want to join our cult, come on down. We'll make you a cultist. And yeah, thanks so much for coming.
Whether
We'll
you-
see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye,
Thanks for
guys.
joining.
And let's go and raid PJ.
Hell yeah. Raiden PJ.